Hi everyone, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your Spiritual Self-Mastery class, Ego and Heart, for the week of July 29th, 2018. This is for all astrological signs as we look at the overarching energy for the week, and then based around that overarching energy, what our ego may try to distract us with, what our heart asks we explore further, and what we can expect or look forward to regardless. So let's just go ahead and get started. Today I'm going to get one card as the overarching theme from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and then 3 cards from the Mary L. Tarot. I hope everyone had a good week last week. Okay, here we go. A leg up. 34. Well, it looks like some of you may be getting a leg up this week. A lift from somebody. Some help. A bumping up here. Could be that during the week someone shows up to help you, or that you're helping another, or that you are just helping yourself. We do have 34 though. We have more of that 7 energy. We've talked a lot about it the last few weeks. Things, taking their time, coming to fruition. But maybe this week you get a little unexpected help, which would be really, really nice. It would be someone who's an ally for you, a more powerful ally in terms of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Maybe someone who has more experience than you in whatever you're trying to achieve, or someone who is a mentor or an elder, this kind of energy. Let's get some additional cards. I'm just going to go very slowly today. My energy has been a little low today. In the last couple days. It must be the eclipses or the retrogrades. Okay, here we go. Based on this leg up energy, our ego may try to distract us with the 10 of Swords. This ending of something. The heart asks that we explore further the Knight of Cups in reverse. Here it is in the upright. We have it here in the reverse in terms of the heart-centered energies. What we can expect or look forward to regardless is the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful energy here. The Chariot under the deck. No wonder I've been feeling tired. Well, this 10 energy, the culmination here with the 10 of Swords and the Wheel is also the number 10, the Chariot, harnessing opposing forces with determination and skill in order to move forward. And it looks like during this week there is, and that's also the number 7, so we have this idea of the delays, but with the Chariot we usually see a rapid momentum moving forward. It is under the deck, so I feel like it's been kind of like that kind of energy. And then we have the 10 of Swords. Now the ego may try to distract us with this 10 of Swords energy, and the 10 of Swords energy just by itself can feel very dramatic already, but when the ego gets involved, it's like, woe is me, I can't get up, this is too much for me, energy just drained, you're just like flat on the floor, like that's it. But again, it's already dramatic energy, so when the ego gets involved with it, it can feel like just everything just goes, in one fell swoop here. It is kind of a dramatic end. So when the ego gets involved here, you're being asked, well, to explore it in this self-mastery class, how the ego shows up. And we're getting a leg up, we're getting an opportunity here to maybe move ahead of others. And that might feel uncomfortable as well. But with a Chariot and the leg up here, we have this energy of an acceleration, things finally moving forward that may have been taking a long time to come to fruition. And with that comes this big dramatic ending. You have to allow things to end and do your best to stay clear of the ego's familiarity with the anxiety. Remember, the Ten of Swords, as I usually experience it, even though it can be a very dramatic ending, not always the most pleasant necessarily, but there's usually a relief that comes from it. I will also say that to be careful on the road or traveling, because we have the Chariot, we have the Wheel of Fortune, then we have the Ten of Swords. So, take your time. If you find that you are putting the pedal to the metal because you want to get there faster, take a breath, trust your instincts, go slowly. There's no need to rush here. The Ten of Swords, things are ending anyway, usually in a very dramatic way, usually in a big way. And with the ego involved, it can create a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. Remember, the endings and beginnings will cycle throughout our lives over and over again. Sometimes some endings feel bigger to the ego and other endings feel smaller, but they're all endings. So remind the ego of that, because the ego likes to turn a spotlight onto trigger points for us. And it may feel like it's big, but remember, that's always, the ego likes to distract us, turn a spotlight on certain areas of our lives where it knows that we have a familiar pattern of, or a conditioned pattern of fear, anxiety, attachment, obsession, this kind of thing. And it's always the heart's opportunity to say, where can I explore further where my emotions are getting the better of me? We have this Knight of Cups in the reverse, and the heart energy is saying, where can I explore this further? Where can you open up to more sincerity, more level-headed emotional connections, more kindness, less superficiality, and more depth? If something occurs that is a dramatic ending, right? It's meant to end. It's usually kind of a situation that hasn't been great anyway, and it ends and it feels dramatic, as I mentioned, and the ego can play in that very nicely. But the heart says, where can we explore further? Where things maybe weren't really that sincere anyway. Say it's, for example, very common, a relationship ends, right? With that ending comes a leg up. Perhaps you do get a bumping up kind of energy with that. And the heart says, where can you explore further? Where there was insincerity, where there was maybe even not a lot of loyalty. And where can you look at that and say, where was I not being loyal to myself in that relationship? If it ended. Many times we're like, oh, that person wasn't loyal, or that person did this, or that person did that. And the heart says, okay, but very gently, where can I look at where maybe I wasn't being totally honest with myself? I wasn't being as loyal to myself, and it showed up in the circumstance of the relationship, or in the way the other person responded to me, or reacted to me, or shared an experience with me. Now, this can take many forms, as I mentioned. For many of you, if there's travel involved, go slowly, take your time. Don't rush. You're moving up anyway. We have this leg up energy. Again, it could show up in terms of an elder or someone. I'm really drawn to the mama bear here and the little bear, like someone who's in a more powerful position, someone who could be a powerful ally or a mentor in your life. But it may also just be that you get a leg up, like something occurs, something ends, and for whatever reason, it creates an opportunity for you to do this kind of bump up energy. And the heart asks you to explore further levels of insincerity, not just how others have been possibly insincere or disloyal to you, but where you've been that way with yourself, possibly with others, but also with yourself. Where can you grow and create more growth for more sincerity, more loyalty, more connection and alignment to your heart-centered energies, your truth? Where can you be more vulnerable, more real? And the ego says, no, focus in on this ending. This ending is going to kill you. This ending is just going to do you in. And it wasn't fair, and it wasn't supposed to happen, and it was awful, and blah, blah, blah. That's the ego energy. The energy doesn't mean that you can't experience those things, but when you can, when you move through that energy and you kind of pop back into awareness or consciousness or love, you say, all right, so I went down that road, I experienced all of that, and it's very normal and natural. It's part of this back and forth between the ego and the heart that we're all going through in different versions of it anyway. And then the heart says, where can I explore further? My own levels of sincerity, loyalty, truthfulness, emotional connection and intimacy with another, superficiality. Where have I been superficial in my relationships? Where was I not trusting myself? Where was I not being loyal to my own values and needs and wants? And what's really, really lovely to see here is that no matter what happens, the what we can look forward to or expect regardless is the Wheel of Fortune. You know, favor from spirit, good fortune, destiny, the hand of fate, synchronistic events. It's ruled by Jupiter. It's very expansive energy. Now, I will say, these two together can create, because this is what, you know, even though this is in this upright, it's sort of what I would consider sort of a beneficial card, beneficent card, but because we're looking at it with the Ten of Swords and Jupiter expands everything it touches, that there may be a situation that really comes to a dramatic end, something big. And I'm going to get some additional cards on it, on this Ten of Swords, but with the with the Wheel of Fortune there, it can feel very, very like dramatic. Dramatic keeps coming up, but also powerful and unexpected. So just be aware of that. Everyone's going to experience it differently depending upon your own situation, and I can't identify everything. You know, for some people it could show up as an event that occurs in terms of a natural cataclysmic event, or again, we have this whole thing on travel here with the wheel and the chariot. Let me get some additional cards on the Ten of Swords. It's about things that you want coming true, the Nine of Cups, and how it affects you is the Ace of Discs. So these are really positive cards. So the Ten of Swords is about this dramatic end, but what it's about is what you're truly wanting is you're going to get. Maybe you had to end something in order to get what you really, really want. This had to occur in order for what you really want to get. This is the wish come true card, the Nine of Cups. Things that you truly are wanting, that you've been desiring. So something has to end in order for that to occur. And then how it affects you, and all of us, is the Ace of Discs. So this is a positive card. This isn't necessarily associated in terms of the egoic energy. This is just how the ego, this energy, the ego is playing with this energy. But what it's about is getting what you want. And how it affects all of us is the Ace of Discs. For some of you, it could even be like a pregnancy, this kind of thing. Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Discs, this idea of the seed being planted, something that has longevity that will grow. The Ace of Discs as a natural outcome, or a potential outcome, let's say. How it affects us is something that is being offered or is available that has legs. It will stand the test of time. A lot of forward momentum during this week. A leg up, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune. Some big energies this week. And be easy upon yourself. Be gentle upon yourself, because there's a lot going on energetically. And as I mentioned, I've been very fatigued. And so many of you may be experiencing that as well. And the fatigue is a necessary part of your growth, because it allows for the moments where you take some time to quietly integrate much of what's occurring. You may not know it consciously, but spiritually and physically you may be integrating new light encodements, let's say. I don't want to get too much into that kind of thing, but this kind of energy. So I hope that you find that helpful. Go slowly, be easy upon yourself. Recognize when the ego comes in to say, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm never going to recover. Remember that the reason this is occurring is for this. And this is why it's going to be so important that the heart is saying, where can you look at this as not something that is insincere or superficial, but where can you go deeper into it and explore it with an open heart, explore it with more compassion, more love, more kindness for self and for others, whatever this Ten of Swords is. Again, the Ten of Swords is going to vary for everyone, quite dramatically, I would imagine. So the heart says, be gentle, be kind, be compassionate with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. If you are ending something in order to get what you truly want, to create something, to invest something, to put your time and energy and resources into something that you're wanting, to create something that has longevity, be gentle upon yourself. But be honest. Don't blame the other person. It may not be a relationship. Again, it can be any number of things. But many of you respond, obviously, to relationship issues because it's one of the more powerful ways that we explore aspects of self and the ego and the heart energies. But anyway, I hope that you understand the messages in there. You may want to listen to it again. I know that I kind of went in a few different areas, but the heart says, be open, be kind, be sincere as best you can. Allow for intimacy with self and with others. Try to keep your heart as open as possible with this Knight of Cups. Now, it can be like there's a water sign involved. Someone who has a lot of water in their chart, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but not necessarily. But for some of you, that will resonate. And we do have the Chariot card, which is also the sign of Cancer, so just something to think about. All right, so I think I'm going to end it there. I hope that you find that helpful. I wish you much love as always, and a really wonderful week. Please be gentle and kind with yourself. Go easy, go slowly. If you need to rest, rest. Don't try to push too hard this week because there's a lot of forward momentum occurring anyway. So ground yourself, hold yourself gently and kindly, and breathe. As much as you can, and drink a lot of water. So much love to you.